got problems, El Dorado.
You guys are gonna love it. This is a ridiculous song.
2 days till Thanksgiving.
So my brother Simon was home for a week just before mid-November. And a couple nights after Noah and I picked him up in Boston, he came over to my apartment for dinner, and we had a good old-fashioned catch-up about everything. We ordered pizza and watched some Lord Huron films, and played guitar and drank wine, and got into that old free-flowing groove that we find so easily.
I'm lonesome but happy, rich but I'm broke, but good Lord knows the reason. I'm just a cowboy from Cheyenne to Douglas, all the ranges I know, 'cause I drift with the wind. No one cares where I go. Riding Broncos in that big rodeo.
And we chopped up a summer's worth of time apart, and I felt relieved like I always do around Simon, where I feel no inhibition from saying the truth. And the next day, Allie and I picked him up for an afternoon of cabin work. But first, we stopped to check out a beautiful old house and barn for sale along the river. And the tail end of fall was still hanging on, leaving little pockets of color in the bare hills. And since we had a stretch of warmer weather, Allie continued to stain as many shakes as she could, while Simon and I put up the dry ones and finished the second wall.
sorry. I thought you said we were. Whatever. Fuck, we won't.
And progress moved along slow and steady, but most importantly, Simon and Allie and I got to share an afternoon listening to the last waltz while sealing up the cabin for winter. And that's a glorious moment in time to be cherished.
Why do the things disappear? I don't feel you.
And we put the first layer of shakes on over the old bottom layer and had 'em looking real good and even too, and then realized we forgot to put the air barrier on the wall first. And before we knew it, the early days end of November had swept the forest.
Yes, not even 5 yet. It's so dark.
And so we warmed up for a bit before one final push to get the blue stuff on.
What's going on in Elmer's these days also with the nighttime menu?
I think it's Friday night dinner only. I'm not sure though. It might be weekend.
I remember it being kind of something funky like that.
It's really been a shame.
Yeah.
Because that was such a staple of life. Elmer's breakfast.
Well, wait, they're not doing Elmer's breakfast?
Not maybe.
I'm still yet to go to that place.
What?
I know.
We need to try and make that.
We do. Saturday.
I swear I had Elmer's last time. All the cameras are on. Should have been up a minute ago.
For sure, you know what I'm saying?
Balance this bad boy. There we go.
Huh?
And we got it on good and proper before heading to the valley for dinner. And we ate well and went to one of Simon and I's favorite haunts that we frequented in our early 20s. And it always charges me up to walk around among the life and the neon after spending a lot of time in the hills. And then one morning I woke real early to head to the cabin to take some photos for a woman named Mary. She's a fellow New Englander chasing her passion, and she makes upcycled bags and other products by hand out of remnant materials in warehouses that otherwise wouldn't get used. Her company is called On the Road Again, and when she reached out and I heard her story and saw her products, I knew right away this was a natural fit. Her bags are strong and utilitarian, and most of her products can be hose washed and are built to withstand abuse. The straps on her bags are made out of old car seat belts and held with large metal rivets, and it truly is quality you can feel. And she's got some other cool little products too, all of them made with a lot of thought and intention. And Allie and I have been using her bags to lug materials to the cabin and take on adventures. And they've proven their worth every time. And so I've shot a bunch of content for her website, and we're planning to tell more of her story in the spring. But for now, you can learn more about On the Road Again and get 20% off Mary's entire store for the holidays using my link in the video description. These materials are saved from landfills and redesigned for adventure. So you're not only investing in something made in America, but you can feel good about it too. And so it was another warm and rainy day that we headed to the cabin to meet Mason, continue staining, and finally insulate the structure before the real cold weather.
I only do one.
That's
I had both at first, but it was digging into my hands.
It was one of those days that made being inside with the wood stove and the raindrops on the metal roof a real treat. And so we had to do some cleaning and seal off a few more roof vents and other areas before we could begin with the spray foam.
All the chest in the air, the courage and the blood and the fire and the stare. It was a gray moon when you had me. The old gentleman told him to go home. See, there's no telling.
Oh yeah, cradle the baby. I love how they rate that like it's no big deal. Shake each one for 1 minute, like it's not a 60 pound.
Yeah, right, like at least 50 pounds. That's 60 pounds.
Yeah, I didn't have petroleum jelly, so I just used grape.
Our thickness is greater than 2 to 3 inches.
And though I learned the hard way that you should wear a full hazmat suit while spray foaming, the job itself was therapeutic and fun to do.
Yeah?
And we pretty much finished, except for the shed and a few areas inside that need some extra coverage. And I love how something so simple can be so satisfying.
Tell me if someone starts coming over.
And as the days passed, there were moments when the rain turned to slush, and it seemed like only a matter of time before the first snow. And as the laundry spun and I broke into a new read, I felt a looming excitement. For the next morning, Sunday morning, I was meeting Noah and Simon for breakfast and a day of filming. A much-needed soul day.
That's all you got? That's all I got. That's all you need, right? I guess.
And there it was, the first snow covering the mountaintop.
It's winter up on top of Winter Mountain. Straight up. We're gonna go skiing. That's winter for you. Wow, dude. Iceland.
Only to round the summit and dive back down into late fall. And it wasn't long before we spotted him on the back roads, the Red Baron himself. And so we all got out with our stomachs growling and looked over that menu with eager eyes as the coffee was poured and a breakfast of champions was served. And with that under our belts, we took off into the warm arms of late Sunday morning to do what all three of us love most: create. And we drafted a short film about fly fishing on the go, and Noah filmed it on his cinema camera.
What's going on here? What the... You lost? We don't have any money. Sorry.
We gotta do head ups.
And it got me thinking about how I wanted to try a cinema camera and play around with some new equipment. And there's nothing better than being around happy people in their element. And that's how it always feels when us three get together.
Oh my god. Alright, ready for this? Spray foam. Like 2 days ago.
And we ended that day at the cabin, getting a taste of the fun we'll have here once it's completed. And we got the final shots of the short film on Depot Street and spent some time in Noah's office above the waterfall.
shall we?
And the little snow flurries continued.
This is exactly what the weather was like when we met.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to Wacona Falls.
Yeah. And we saw the
Ooh,
deer.
and there's Roy.
Wow. And after long stretches of office and cabin work, Allie and I finally got out on a nice evening hike and went to a spot we frequented last winter for sunset. And most of what was left for foliage were the beech leaves, which crinkled and rustled in the evening wind. It does seem to happen every time. Wow. And on the morning before Simon flew west, I drove to meet him at the old bridge we used to hang out under as kids. And I beat him there, and tried a few casts while I waited, and admired all the little details that have ingrained themselves in my mind over the years. and I gave Simon a few little keepsakes to put on his desk. Just a brotherly reminder of home for the long winter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And we talked and putzed around the shore and said everything we could think of before taking film portraits on that old bridge, a spotty tradition we've kept alive since 2013.
How was it? That was good.
And after a soul-healing week in the hills, my brother was heading west for the winter. And a few days later, John came by, as we needed to make solid plans for building his driveway.
Got me, bro.
I've been getting you.
Jesus, I was hoping that 60 mile an hour would clean us out a little bit. Still in your thick. Oh, open your window, Ma. It is open. Oh, God. What's going on, Mike?
And we searched the farmland for a local expert, as we needed some advice on excavating and trucking.
Hard to do with some of that 4-inch ends up on top of the. You need.
Oh, that's
You need the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister.
And soon after, Allie and I helped move her grandmother's fabric collection inside for the winter. And we had a few more evenings at the cabin, getting little things done. And it was a cold Friday that Allie and I met Mason, and the wind blew hard. And for the first time this year, snow had made its way into the official forecast.
You just want it to all infuse and get the goodness in there. It's not about taste all the way.
Right.
Big trouble. Big trouble here.
Alright, so just doing the thing.
Yeah, you can pick them up as you go.
And it wasn't long into the morning before the air started filling with little white pellets. And we bundled up and kept on shaking.
Quarter inch wider. Come on, three bang.
Alright, here it goes.
That was a nice snap.
Satisfying.
How would it work for us to fold the hammer?
Wow. And after a good day of progress, I headed home to pick up a cinema camera I had rented for a week and prepare for a good old-fashioned evening with the boys. And that full moon pulled me up over the mountain towards my destiny, as it had been nearly a year since the boys and I got together in Mason's kitchen, and my soul was craving it. They were all at John's garage working on Pup, and I pulled up right as they finished the job.
Rap, rap. Yeah, go get some food. But I was thinking maybe rabbit hole. Oh, were ya?
That's kind of, I don't know, I mean.
Fix the brake. And the compression, I would imagine.
Oh, you did?
That's why nobody can steal my shitty tires. They're all different sizes. While we're putting her to rest, John, right, I can shut the hood. Yeah. See what happens. She's gonna instantly move better. Alright, Kyle, get that back door for Pop.
Got it. Yeah, you got it. Keep going. Got it.
It's alive. It's alive, Poplar.
Oh, he's fixed! I can tell!
And I was like, this thing's disgusting. It's perfect for you, John. But he's like, oh my god. Asked him if he's been wearing it. He's like, every day.
Every day.
Nobody likes my hat.
I love you.
And by all means, I'm so thrilled that Pup. You remember that noise, the awful clatter he was making? Look at a hood. You can't beat a hood like that.
No, you sure can't. Well, we gotta celebrate, Pup.
Yeah, man. We do gotta celebrate Pup. I love him. We gotta celebrate my driveway.
Yeah, that's it. Did you get a hold of Dickin or anything?
I did.
What'd he say?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
But he'll come up with an answer. I'm just gonna have Windsor excavating do it.
Yeah.
You. You.
Alright, let's go.
We still
got problems, El Dorado. The compression is unbelievably better.
So I want you to go up here and take a left and go fast and hit the brakes like you want to, stop.
Oh, yeah, your brakes are not happy.
No.
Look at Pop, he looks so cool right now.
Hey, Kyle.
What's all this, eh?
There it is.
Oh, dude, that's the best.
Alright, so this is where it gets real.
Taco Bell candy.
You like all the reading?
Are you gonna come cut me some potatoes? You okay? I thought we were gonna smoke lunch. Oh yeah, let's do that.
I love you, buddy. What do you get next time?
Kicking me in the bathroom is what it is, and I'm forcing that thing.
What?
You have to do it. You have the mirror.
And it came out naturally.
And as Mason cooked a stew from some fish he had caught a week or two earlier, we sipped hot sake and talked and let loose, and found belly laughs in every corner of the room. And Jack left early because he's not a fan of fish, but John and I stayed till we were tired. We stood on the staircase in thick coats under the glow of the full moon.
Exactly. Your head there, kid. You guys are gonna love it. This is a ridiculous song. It is actually a hit.
For it was late November in the Berkshires, and winter was on our minds.